That's amazing.
The dogs.
Is that even a real story?
That's a fact.
This is complete nonsense, Greg.
Read a book.
I guess you are kind of artistic.
Incredible.
What are you even talking about, man?
Go for broke.
I don't even know what that means. Let's get it going.
Let's get her going. Keep her going, baby.
You're so excited.
Yeah, buddy. All right, we're good to go. Chuck, what's up?
Not much.
Let me explain this. So Greg had to work today, so I found a suitable alternative. And his name is Chuck, a.k.a. Charles Maxwell III. Pretty dope name. But introduce yourself, Chuckers.
Well, my name's Chuck, Chuckles, Shucky, whatever you prefer.
Charles.
Chaz. Well, not Chaz.
Anything but Chaz.
Anything but Chaz. I would take Chad over Chaz. But yeah, no, I'm excited to be here. Looking forward to talking about dogs. It's like my favorite thing in the world.
Yes, and you have a dog yourself.
I do. I have a Siberian Husky. Her name's Mika. She's about 50 pounds, and she's well worth her weight in attitude. So
she's got a toot on her.
She'll
look
bitch.
at you. Yeah, she has resting bitch face for a dog.
RBF for sure.
Sure.
She will stare into your soul until she gets what she wants.
I love that every time I come over to your place, she'll see you from like across the room and just give you those eyes, and then just roll onto her back and spread her legs
and wait for you. She's like, "You come to me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't come to you."
She knows you're coming. She knows you're coming, man.
Yeah. Every time I get home, it's one thing that I knew I was getting myself into with Huskies is that they're not like other dogs when they greet you. Like you come home and then Leah runs at you and she goes nuts, and I come home and Mika's sleeping and she lifts her head up and looks at me and then just goes right back to sleep.
Yeah. So
she's like, "Oh, you."
But she's so smart, though. That's the thing. Like she actually she can choose. She's like, I could get up, but I'm not gonna. With my dogs, it's like they have no control. They're like, I'm running to the door and shaking my ass around because I'm so excited. I can't control my emotions.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like she will literally, she has the conscious ability to make decisions. She'll sit, you can see her, you can see the wheels spinning too when she is thinking about doing something, whether or not she wants to. You can see the look in her eyes where she's like thinking about it, thinking to herself, what's in it for me?
Yeah, what can I get out of this?
What can I get out of this situation?
That's funny. But how old's Mika now? I forgot.
She's eight.
Yeah. Same with Leah. They're getting old, but
man.
they look good.
They do. They're holding their youth.
Yeah, Leah's face is getting a little white, but Mika still looks like she's 2.
Yeah, I think Huskies, their fur generally doesn't change colors like most other dogs.
Okay.
I mean, it's like, I don't know why. I've seen Huskies that were 15 and they looked like they were young little, adolescent dogs. Mm-hmm. But
yeah.
I remember there was one Husky over on Meg Street. I missed that. I missed that Husky. He was 17 and a half.
Holy shit, that's an old dog.
Yeah, this is going back probably 2 years was the last time I saw him. So obviously the dog probably passed on, but the dog was awesome because me and Mika would walk by and the guy would always be sitting out. It was right on the corner of Meg's and Harvard. And he would always be sitting in the front yard with his Husky, and the Husky would just be chilling there. And I would always talk to him about it because I was like, that's incredible that your dog is 17. Husky's lifespan is usually 14 years.
Yeah, at the high end of it.
Yeah, and so, hopefully 14 to 16.
Mika's got 6 more. Mika's got 6 more. All right.
I'm hoping for more, but no, yeah, I would always walk by and ask him about the dog, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I've literally never had any problems with her, which is unusual because usually like hip dysplasia, like cancer, like something, usually happens.
Yeah.
But no, that dog was cool. Mika actually got along with him.
Yeah, he's the elder. He's the elder on the street. But yeah, Mika's kind of similar to Leah in that they're both kind of cunts. They're kind of bitches though. They they're good with some dogs, and then other dogs they're like, nah, I'm not gonna fuck with you.
You're absolutely right. Mika is like that. There's some dogs that I know that I never worry about her, but then there's other dogs like I just got really pissed at her the other day because my buddy Nitro has a little pug, and it's like a 15-week-old puppy, and obviously it was going nuts when it met her, and she just like snapped at him, and like the little puppy freaked out. And like,
I'm sure.
I know it was a Husky thing where she was like just kind of putting him in his place.
Here's your warning, bud.
Right, but it obviously sounded and looked much worse than that. And being my friend's dog, I felt awful. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But
yeah,
if it was somebody else's dog, I'm like, oh, whatever, go fuck yourself.
Was that Nitro's first dog?
Honestly, I don't know. I think it's his first dog that he's purchased or like that he got.
Yeah,
I know he went to a breeder though, and he paid like $1,400 for it, I think. He said it was really expensive, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, adopt, don't shop, man. That's the new thing.
Yeah. Well, I can't say anything because I bought Mika from a breeder.
Yeah,
but my next dog will be a rescue. I actually did find there was some rescue locally. It starts with a B, like Billy's Club or something like that. Billy's Dogs, I don't know, but they have a bunch of cool dogs up for adoption right now, and they're all being fostered with various foster families. But they have 2 huskies. One of them's named Dash. The other one is Blue, and one's 3 and one's 9. They're both black and gray huskies.
Oh,
they're
cool.
Awesome. So I've been like emailing with them possibly about adopting the 3-year-old, and my mom and dad might adopt the 9-year-old.
All right. That's
Bacon's
cool,
in my
man.
own little wolf pack.
A little wolf pack. Yeah, man. That's fucking great.
Do you want to be in the wolf pack?
We're in the wolf pack right now.
But yeah, so I'm trying to see if I can work something out where I adopt Dash, who's the 3-year-old, and my parents will adopt the 9-year-old. Because I thought that'd be really cool to have like a little wolf pack. But the only problem is that my parents don't have a fenced-in yard, and with huskies that are older, I don't know how easy it will be to train them off a leash.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Yeah, like with Mika, I started doing that from day one, and it took 5 fucking years to really trust her the way I do now.
Yeah, because now, so Chuck lives down in the city of Rochester, but you'll just leave her on the porch, like grill out, and she just hangs out.
She just chills. Yeah, she doesn't really. She's like, but she's older now. Like she doesn't have that interest. Like her interest levels are way lower now than they were when she was like 5. You know, she doesn't give a shit anymore. Like she'll just kind of lay out. She just wants to lay in the grass and just smell and like have the breeze blow by. Like that's all she cares about.
You just get the wind in the hair.
Yeah, she wants the wind in her vag. Oh, she's got to air it out somehow.
Yeah, right. There's so much hair. It's tough to get fresh breeze.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
all that stink gets caught in there, you know.
Oh my God.
No, but she's chill as hell. She's chill now, man. She just kind of hangs out, and like when other dogs walk by, like I don't have to worry about her normally. Because I wasn't paying attention one day, and somebody walked by with their dog, and I realized it, and I jumped up, but then Mika literally just sat there and just stared at the dog the entire way. Didn't move a muscle. She was like so content sitting in the grass, like she didn't move a muscle.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Actually, Leah and I were going for a run. My now wife. We were going for a run yesterday though, and we're like a mile away from our house, but a little wiener dog, a dachshund, and a Shih Tzu were across the street hanging out in like whoever this lady's driveway was.
Yeah.
And they ran across the street and chased us like 50 feet.
No way.
And then Leah, I just kept running. I'm like, fuck these dogs. They can't
Yeah.
catch us. They got little tiny legs.
Yeah.
Leah turns around and stops. And when she stopped, both of these dogs were so terrified. Like they got up to her and Leah just stopped running. And they were like, what the fuck are we doing? We're like the tiniest little dogs ever.
Yeah, they realized their mistake.
It was hilarious though. But like the owner came running across. She's like, oh my God, they won't bite. They won't bite. But these dogs were, for some reason, just absolutely terrified by Leah.
Oh, really?
It was hilarious.
Actually, funny thing that you say that, because yesterday when I was walking Mika down Park, we were passing Half Pint, and there was this really cool looking like shepherd mix with his owners and like a couple other people, and he was like sitting like by the table, and as we walked by, he like got up like wagging his tail like and poked his head out to say what's up to Mika, and then I was thinking about this as one of the things I wanted to mention to you is like dogs and their sixth sense of being able to they have some kind of ability to like see a personality, whether in a dog or in a person. And like Mika's obviously super alpha, and so as soon as this dog, like I watched this dog get all excited to say hello, and then he made eye contact with Mika and just ducked back under the table and was like tail under his legs, and I was like, Mika didn't even do anything. She just looked at this dog, and the dog was, oh fuck, all right, never mind.
Well, she walks around like she owns the world, man.
She's
just,
my God,
like just such a dominant walk. It's hilarious. Oh my God.
I left my apartment yesterday, and there's like a bunch of dudes fixing the roof on my building right now, and they're like inner city guys or whatever, and I walked by, and the one dude's like, damn, that looks like a wolf, man. And I was like, oh yeah, it's a husky. And he's like, oh, she's beautiful. Look at the way she walks, man. She walks with authority.
She's strutting around.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. I was like, she knows what she's doing.
That's hilarious. I think I've told this story before, but my one of my roommates in college, he had a husky pit bull mix, and it ended up looking just like a husky, pretty stocky, but with shorter hair. So
really?
like lab length hair. Still looked like a husky, but this thing had one white eye, one blue eye.
Oh, that's cool.
And he would walk it through the ghetto all the time. Not stereotyping at all, but like people sitting on their porches would be like, "Yo, that's a killer! It's a killer, man!" And we'd be like, "She's the nicest dog ever," you know. But they'd just be like, "Oh my god," just because they she looked crazy.
Well, dude, you're right. I mean, like for some reason, I mean, actually, there's a pretty good reason because I mean, you think about the inner city. There's dogs running around, strays like running around all over the place.
Yeah,
and like it's like a problem in any city. But like, I mean, so if you're growing up on like Avenue B or D or C or whatever, and you've got a stray dog in your neighborhood and bites you one day, you know, like you're going to be afraid of dogs.
Yeah.
You're going to grow up being afraid or at least cautionary of dogs.
Yeah.
But,
I totally agree. So yeah, it makes sense. I don't know if he was walking down an Avenue A.
Probably not. There was one day I was walking down Park Ave. I'll never forget this. And it was like one of those moments where I was like, oh my gosh, like don't be afraid of my dog. She's like the friendliest dog ever. But I was walking and this lady was like 100 yards in front of me. And I was walking towards her and she like looked up and just stopped dead in her tracks. And I see her like squint and like kind of lean forward like she was trying to see what was coming. And then I just hear her go, "Oh, hell no." And then just crosses the street. And I was like, oh my God, this lady actually just crossed the street because of my dog.
That's
like,
hilarious. Was she white?
She was of the darker color.
Just the way you said it.
Yeah, no. Well, I didn't want to bring that into this, but it's since you ask.
But I mean, it's just the truth. So that's
I know. But no, I was laughing. I actually yelled across the street. I was like, "It's okay. She's very friendly." And the lady's like, "That's all right. I don't take chances."
Yeah,
I'm like, all right, whatever.
You have to do your own thing. That's all.
Exactly.
It's all good. All right. So what's been new, man? What's been going on the past couple weeks
with Mika?
With you?
Just
with
me,
life,
dude,
bro.
I've been hanging out, man. It's been a whirlwind. You got married. I was traveling all week for work, and I went to this awesome steakhouse out in Indianapolis called St. Elmo's. It was really cool. It was like the first plate when you walk into the bar area. It's like the size of Magpie. So it's super tiny.
But then, so for those of you that don't live in Rochester, Magpie is it's an Irish pub?
Yeah, it's Magpie Irish pub.
Yeah, and it's like a hallway. I mean, it's small. It's small. It's very narrow. Yeah. Okay, so continue.
Yeah, so you go in, and then the dining room expands through the back. It goes into like 4 separate rooms, and there's like a basement as well. And they claim the basement. Now let me just clarify that this place is a steakhouse, but it's like a very Italian style steakhouse where there's just like the decor. It's kind of dark in there. I was thinking that it seemed like I was in a scene from The Sopranos when I walked into this place.
Okay, like you look in the back booth and you're like, who are these guys?
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's like it was very like that was the theme. But they were saying, yeah, there's a basement there's a dining room in the basement as well for overflow. I'm like, overflow or for the mob?
Yeah,
it's like this place
trying to go sell a liver.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like that's exactly what I thought, and it was really cool. It was a really, really cool restaurant. They have their world famous cocktail sauce, which apparently everybody who goes there always orders a shrimp cocktail for the sauce.
Okay,
and I'll tell you,
yeah, what's the sauce like?
I'm not a big cocktail sauce guy, but this sauce was awesome.
Just bomb.
Oh yeah, but it was so hot for the first 2 or 3 seconds. It felt like you were gonna breathe fire out of your nose.
Okay,
like it was insane. But then it just immediately goes away.
Okay. Is it like a mix of like cocktail sauce? Was there any horseradish in it?
Heavy horseradish.
Okay,
that'll
get the nostrils going.
Oh man, and it was funny because I wasn't feeling too great either, and I took a big bite of the first one and took a big scoop of it, and I almost cried. My eyes were watering. The waiter was laughing at me.
Like, what have I done?
Yeah, but it was cool because like Peyton Manning, all the famous guys from Indianapolis go there all the time. Like. So they have all these pictures on the walls of all the famous people that would go there.
Cool.
And then afterwards, my client went home, and then I rented one of those electric scooters and was scootering around Indianapolis for like an hour. I made some friends. I went to a bar and met like a couple girls and a guy, and we all were hanging out for the entire night. It was pretty funny.
That's all. Was it a bird? The bird scooters?
Lime.
Yeah, there's so many different ones now.
Yeah. It was cool. I hope they get them in Rochester. Like I was against it because they whip, man. But somebody's gonna die.
Well, you know what? If you die on an electric scooter, it's like survival of the fittest. Like, unless it's you.
Yeah, unless it's me.
I don't care if it's anybody else. Realistically. Like,
I mean, it was pretty fun.
There's so many videos on YouTube, though, where there's like, 40-year-old women who have like one mimosa at brunch, and then they hop on like a bird scooter, and you see them going through the crosswalk all jiggly, and then they fucking just wipe out.
Yeah,
and you're like,
eat shit. They hit like a divot, and they don't realize that you have to lean back and like lift the wheel a little bit, and they just go flat face first.
It's like, what did he expect to happen? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So what were you doing in Indy though? Just working?
No, I was visiting clients. Yeah, I have a couple clients there. Actually, it's a really, really cool town. I will say that the city was surprisingly dirty, and I don't.
Okay.
Like that's my impression of it. I thought the city was pretty dirty, and there's homeless people everywhere. But it was cool. I was in Carmel a lot.
Oh yeah, I've been to Carmel.
Yeah, really nice.
Carmel. You don't need to say it. Cool.
Actually,
it's Carmel.
Dude, it's funny. My client corrected me like multiple times. He's like, it's actually just Carmel. But I'm in the habit now. But no, it's like a Pittsburgh on steroids. It's incredible. I mean, they have tons and tons of new build, but they build it to look like the mayor is like in love with the architecture from Europe, so they try to make everything look like Europe. It's really cool.
Yeah, I don't remember that. So you're talking about in Carmel?
Yeah, Carmel.
Yeah, so I went there in college, and we held a lacrosse camp out there.
Oh shit,
it was pretty cool. One of the alumni,
I think Tenbrock told me that, or Wagner or somebody.
Probably, yeah. But one of the alumni started it, and kind of going off on a tangent here, but we were there for a few days. It was like a 4 or 5 day camp, and on like the third or fourth night, we went to this guy's house, and he's just rich as fuck. He started this like huge lacrosse thing out in the Midwest,
right,
on top of his several $100,000 a year job. So it was just like side stuff. So we have like 10 guys in the back of a truck in the bed, and he's like, "Hey guys, what are you doing tonight?" And we're like, "We're just gonna go get dinner." But realistically, we're like, "We're going to strip club."
Oh yeah,
so
oh yeah, 100%.
He comes up, and he, similar to how you just said, Mika can like read people's personalities. He just looked in my eyes, and he's like, "Come here, Scott." I'm like, "Okay," and he just slaps me up, and I don't realize what's going on. It's like as we're pulling away, and he slapped me up, and I look at my hand, and it looks like he just gave me like a few ones, like going to the strip club, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I fold open a few of those ones. There's $200.
Oh my God.
Inside of that, and I'm like, I can't take this. But we get to the strip club, pretty sick. They actually like, I've never seen this before, and I don't go to strip clubs often, but they actually had like one of the boxing rings. Like where like strippers like actually fight
like
each
the
other.
Big gloves.
But we were there with one of my coaches. I was currently a player then.
Yeah.
Black guy from Texas. We called him Tex. And my buddy and I, we're in college. We have like, outside of the money that we use to like get in and buy drinks, we ended up having like $6 total at the end of the night. And the stripper was like trying to like hustle us for cash. And we're sitting right at the fucking stage. We're like, we don't have any money. We're just acting like we do.
Yeah.
And we just folded up this like $6 to make it look like it's more than $6. And we're like, do the most fucked up thing you can do, that black guy right there. Just because he was our coach at the time, we're like, you shouldn't be here. But sorry to throw you under the bus, Tex.
Sorry to throw you under the bus.
but this stripper, she like looks at him, takes a few steps back, does a front handspring, and just lands her pussy right on his face.
Oh my God.
Legs over his shoulders, and just starts like,
no way,
pumping his face. And we're like, yes, this is exactly what we were looking for. It was fucking hilarious. So that's what I know about Carmel.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, that's a pretty good story about Carmel. I got to tell you, it's a lot better than mine.
Just different.
I was going to tell you how I went to a pub and played ping pong with the server. That doesn't have anything to do with that.
A little different.
Not even compare.
Oh, my God.
Not even comparable.
All right, so let's move on here. I got a couple things to talk about. I usually save this. Greg and I started a news segment to the podcast where we just talk about dog news. Like, look out for blue-green algae, which
obviously,
is actually, it's coming to, or it's in Rochester.
They've just found some in Canandaigua on the lake at the beach. At the north side?
Yeah, it's in Ellison Park now.
Yeah, obviously it's there. The place is so dirty.
Mucky.
Yeah, dude.
Mucky.
I don't go there anymore for that reason. But was it actually about Ellison Dog Park though? Was it in the dog park or was it in the stream that goes through the park?
Not sure.
I would assume it was in the dog park, right? Because that water is disgusting.
Just like some of the like stagnant water that's in there.
Well, because Mika got really sick from that water years ago, and that's why I haven't been back. Because she got super sick, and I spent like $500 on meds and shit to make her feel better.
Yeah.
And I sent the bill to the city because I was like, "This is your fucking fault." And I called like 5 times, and I finally got somebody on the phone. They just laughed at me. They're like, "Yeah, we're not paying that."
Of course, Monroe County. Come on, Jesus. But one thing I wanted to bring up: there's another food recall, and it's on Chef Toby pig ears. They're dog treats. I don't think I've ever given any to Leah. I don't know if it's like specific to any particular area, but contaminated with salmonella bacteria, and it's associated to health risks, obviously. Yeah. But one thing that Greg and I have done podcasts on recently is a raw diet for dogs.
Yeah.
And I think there could be some benefit to it. It's
expensive.
It's expensive for sure.
So expensive.
But I don't think there's enough like science really to back a lot of what people are saying in the dog community. But I have to imagine that salmonella is going to be possibly an issue. But yeah, just keep an eye out if you see Chef Toby pig ears. don't fucking feed them to your dogs. All right.
I actually, I know that brand, and they're in most pet stores, so people should definitely pay attention.
Yeah. I mean, and like pig ears they seem like they're cheap.
Yeah, they're like $1.20 a piece.
Yeah, so they're cheap, but yeah, just keep an eye out. But yeah, it says one sample tested positive, but who the fuck knows? If you're making those in bulk, it could be whatever.
Well, obviously they do too. So I mean,
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like one of those situations. Like all those baseball players recently are getting busted for PEDs.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares? It's baseball. One, I want to see more home runs.
Yeah, right.
I want to see Mark McGwire looking juiced out of his mind with like 34-inch forearms just ripping homers. I don't care if they're doing it in baseball.
Yeah.
But, a big issue is like you get these supplement manufacturers and they have like the crocs that you kind of like, I don't know what the word would be, brew up the supplements. But a lot of the times they don't change and like fully clean out those crocs. So you get like a random mix of like just particles of whatever else. But I think some guys have actually gotten busted for PEDs because they're not doing that. But at the same time, these guys that are getting caught are just on PEDs.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I would be doing it.
I mean, I feel like baseball, it's like the most common in baseball too. Like you don't hear about guys getting busted for PEDs in like football or soccer or hockey or anything like that. It's always baseball.
Yeah, I mean, hockey and football, for example, are just, they're high speed, huge collision sports.
Yeah.
Same with like fighting. Like you can actually fuck somebody up if you're just juiced to the gills.
Oh, yeah.
You got veins coming out of your traps. I don't want to get fucking hit by you. I don't want to have CTE when I'm
you
35.
see veins, you're like, I don't even have a vein there. Where did that vein even come from?
You're not supposed to have a certain blood supply coming that close to your skin, bud. But yeah, so food recall, be aware. Just don't fuck your dogs up by feeding them those stupid Toby pig ears.
Yeah. So speaking of raw food diets, I actually, one of the biggest problems I've had recently is spending money on Instagram.
Don't we all?
Dude, that goddamn targeted advertising. I see something like, God, I fucking need that. I was like, I don't want to pay for it, but I fucking need that.
You're like, this looks legit. I want some of this.
It's like, how do they find me? But no, I saw this thing on Instagram of like a raw food diet that you can subscribe to. It's like a monthly service they send you
for dogs.
Yeah, for dogs.
Okay.
And like, so I looked it up and I was like, I actually I was like in the checkout like section of their, like I had
in the cart.
Yeah,
in the cart.
It was like ready to purchase. And then I actually like thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, dude, this startup, it was $120 a month.
Oh, jeez.
Or maybe even that was bi-weekly because you could choose like they send you stuff weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Mm-hmm. And like Mika's she's honestly like not a big eater. Like she eats when she wants. Like,
yeah, she just kind of picks all day, right?
Yeah, like I'll leave food in her bowl and it'll sit there untouched for like 3 days and then she'll just house the entire bowl.
Okay.
It's like it's the weirdest thing. Like she did it like the other night. I got home and she hadn't touched her food in like 2 days. And then I get home like on Thursday night or something like that. And she comes over and she says what's up to me, and then she just goes and crushes the entire bowl of food.
No,
and I'm just, she's the weirdest dog. Anyway,
totally different from labs, right? You have to like slow them down.
Yeah, you have to use like stones
just
to make sure that they don't crush everything.
Yeah,
but no. So this raw food diet though, it was like $140 was the option that they had that I had lined up. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, that is so unrealistic. Like, who the fuck is going to pay $140 every 2 weeks for dog food? Like, that's insane. I could just go to the fucking store and like chop up some veggies or go to the public market on Saturday. Every Saturday morning, I could go to the public market with $20, buy like some cheap meats and veggies and chop them all up, roast them, and then feed that to my dog.
Yeah, get some like local grass-fed beef or like chicken or whatever.
Right.
Free-range chicken and then chop it up and feed it to them.
But it's insane to me that there are people out there who subscribe to that service. Like, that's crazy. That's such a crazy waste of money.
But yeah, I mean, if you have the money and you really believe in it.
Yeah,
but I mean, we could buy like the best dry dog food though. Like the best. What's it, like $40 or $50?
Like $40 for a normal size bag.
Yeah. And that would be maybe comparable in price for the month.
You think? Well, see, Mika doesn't eat a lot though. So for me,
the point is that is like super expensive.
Right. Like I probably buy one bag of dog food like every 3 or 4 months, probably.
Yeah.
Like she just doesn't eat a whole lot.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's the weirdest thing. But the whole reason I meant to tell you is the whole reason I was looking at the raw food diet was because I found this company, or no, it was an article that popped up in my Apple News, and it was 15 dog food brands that have been scientifically I don't know if it said proven, but that cause heart failure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of it's similar to like a human diet. A lot of what's going into those shitty dog food brands is like the same shit that's fucking.
It's all
us
fillers
up.
and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so like this, but this list blew my mind because it was like the brand that I feed her is called From. It's from Wisconsin. It's all made in the USA, and it was on the list.
Oh shit!
So now I'm like, I got to change her dog food, but I'm gonna get through this bag, but I'm gonna change it because it's obviously I'm paranoid about it. But there is other shit on there like what was that? What's that Blue Wolf brand? Is that?
Oh yeah, that's the one that everybody thinks is like the best.
Yeah, that was on there.
Okay.
Taste of the Wild was on there. And these are all like all natural brands that claim to be super healthy, and they were all part of this research. And I can't. The only thing I would say though is that I don't remember who exactly did the research. Because it could very well be pedigree. They pay these doctors like, hey, here's $10 million. Go write a report that says that all these other brands are shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to like any other like industry where it's just like who is actually funding.
Right, exactly, exactly. Yeah. Like the Clintons were behind it probably.
They're behind everything. Those fucking Clintons. Oh my god, that's hilarious. But yeah,
open my closet door at night, and Hillary's going to be standing there like, when are you going to bed, Charles?
Oh, yeah, well, you could probably run away from that dumb bitch. Oh, sorry. She definitely can't catch you.
No, yeah. She's not going anywhere.
Her aerobic capacity is not great. Might be the reason she didn't get fucking elected because people thought she couldn't walk more than 100 feet at a time. All right. So you want to get into the stories?
Sure.
We could probably talk like this all day. But.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely could.
Yeah, Chuck's a talker, folks.
Just like at your wedding, I was like, if I don't sit down now, I think everybody here knows me well enough to know I'll never shut up. Yeah. It's like, so I'm going to sit down.
It was very on point, though. Yeah, Chuck stood up and gave a little, probably 30-second speech at the wedding. But like when you stood up, I was like, oh man, we might be here all night. But yeah, it was good. You're like, I'm going to preface this with, I'll keep it short because I talk. Oh man. You want to start stories? You want me to start?
It's up to you, bud.
I'll go first. All right, folks. So this week's stories, I haven't looked at yours, Chuck. Mine's pretty fucking long. Actually,
mine's just 2 pages.
Let's let you go first, just because mine's super long.
All right. Well, this one is about we're going to call it the Honey Tree Evil Eye, or better known as Spuds McKenzie.
Okay, not sure what that means.
Good old Spuds.
Spuds McKenzie.
Good old Spuds.
Here we go.
So we weren't really supposed to know this, but the party and Spuds McKenzie, who liked his Bud Light, was portrayed by a female dog named Honey Tree Evil Eye.
Who names their dog Honey Tree Evil Eye?
I don't know, but imagine like you're at the dog park. Honey Tree Evil Eye, let's go. Yeah. Come on, get the car.
It's one word.
So Honey Tree Evil Eye was a bull terrier born October 7th, 1983. Before she became famous as Budweiser's ultimate party animal, she was a show dog in Chicago. So this dog's been around, all over the place,
doing some cool stuff. All right,
and I'm pretty sure that this is the target dog. I'm looking at a picture of her.
Wait, let me look real quick.
This is definitely the target dog, but they just colored the eye a different color.
Yes, okay.
But anyways, unusually calm and photogenic dog, obviously, hence the picture. I wish the viewers could see the picture, but
looks like a bull terrier that got punched in the face because it's just got one black eye.
It does, yeah. It's black and white photo, so it could be red. Who knows? But the dog caught the eyes of advertisers and soon appeared on the ads across college campuses. Okay, but her famous role didn't come until 1987.
Oh, okay. So, all the stories we tell are always, there's nothing recent.
Yeah.
Everyth's in the past.
I mean, who cares about what's going on right now?
Yeah.
The Amazon's on fire. That's all we need.
Let's talk about dogs in the 80s.
Yeah. By the way, just tangent real quick. Mm-hmm. I think it's hilarious how the world just doesn't care. I mean, it's hilariously embarrassing how the world just doesn't care. Like all these billionaires, when Notre Dame caught fire, they're like, oh, this one French billionaire was like, I pledge $1 billion or $100 million to help rebuild the cathedral, and the Amazon's on fucking fire, and he's not a single word. Yeah. And it's like then the UN or whoever, like, oh, here's $20 million, and it's like, dude, fucking Venom's budget was $100 million. Yeah, you can't fucking raise more than that. Like, what are you fucking doing?
It's insane. It's insane. And I totally agree. And the fact that the media, like the fact that the Amazon was on fire for weeks before the media even covered that at all. Yeah. The only benefit, and I'm kind of stretching for this, the only benefit is that it is common that stuff, the forests burn down.
Forest fires are very common.
And it allows...
It's natural.
Yeah, it's natural. The cause of these ones were not natural.
Right. But forest fires are a natural part of the circle of life.
And it allows a lot of the lower, shrubbery and trees and stuff to actually grow up, which is, it's good. It's like the evolution of life and it continues. Right. But at the same time, it's like, we're fucking burning this thing down at a rapid pace. Yeah. So.
Everything in moderation, I think, would be the quote to use there. But I mean, actually, Ten Brock made a good point too. Our friend John. So he and I were talking about this in the car, and one of the things that he mentioned is, well, part of the problem that we've had with all these forest fires and all these wildfires, like in California, is that we have, as a society, tried so hard to prevent them over the last 100, 200 years that we've actually made it worse. Because now, like, all of the kindle that would have burned in a natural fire 50 years ago is still sitting under the rubbish in the forest.
Gotcha.
So it's super combustible.
Yeah, it's like just the driest wood you could ever imagine. Yeah,
and it should have burned up naturally years ago, but we've prevented that through through all of the agricultural stuff that we do. So anyway, back to the topic. So anyway, 23, John Moore. So this guy, 23-year-old art director, John Moore.
Okay.
He created Spuds McKenzie, who is a mascot and a campaign for the Bud Light campaign.
Cool.
So beer dog. Everybody loves a beer dog.
Absolutely.
And I'm also seeing in this picture of this dog, he's got a Bud Light pin on his jacket.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the first TV ad appeared during the Super Bowl. I think this is 2021, right? XX1, 21.
Yeah, I'm not big on Roman numerals.
Yeah, me neither. But it was honestly, obviously, it was a huge hit. And that's kind of what started the whole like advertising during the Super Bowls, like the funny advertising and whatnot.
Yeah, nice.
But Bud Light sales increased 20% in 1 year. Of course. And
I'll buy a beer for a dog.
Yeah, obviously, especially if he's serving it. You kidding me? But the partying dog was he was on posters, T-shirts, everything. The song "Baby" got backed by Sir Mix-a-Lot. It was actually to praise women who didn't like the Spuds McKenzie girls, which he described as little skinny chicks looking like stop signs with big hair and skinny bodies. So
that's actually in the story.
Yeah,
just make that. Oh,
no, yeah, that's a real part of this. And then at some point, Flavor Flav from Public Enemy got involved, and he threw out a couple "yeah boys,"
yeah boy.
But yeah, so Honey Tree Evil Eye, remember that's the name, the original name.
Yep.
His career as a Budweiser mascot didn't actually last that long due to controversy. Republican Senator Storm Thurmond, coincidentally, the most badass name I've ever heard.
Storm.
Oh, sorry, Strom.
Oh, Strom.
Yeah, not as cool.
Okay,
that's a
far less cool now.
A weenie name. That guy was probably beat up as a kid. Oh. he was probably bullied in middle school. Accused Anheuser-Busch of glamorizing the use of alcohol and encouraging those who are underage to drink. This guy definitely got beat up in high school.
Jeez, I mean, like, yeah. Wait, when did it switch to 21? What year? Do you remember?
Oh, that was like 70s, wasn't it? Or late 70s, 80s?
I don't know. Either way, yeah, it's like our parents probably drank when they were like 14.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they probably were partying their asses off before we were even allowed to go out past 9.
Yeah.
And
neighborhood watch.
Yeah, right? But so the FTC got involved. They found no evidence to support the allegations, and Budweiser ultimately retired good old Spuds in 1989. Mm-hmm. But they felt that his character had started to overshadow the product. That was what they said.
Oh my god!
Which is obviously bullshit.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, literally, if you they were up 20% initially. So I mean, let the dog sell, man.
Let the dog sell. Let him do his job.
Yeah, unless it's like one of those situations where the dog, unfortunately passes away, and then you try to replace it with a similar looking dog, and you're like, that's not the fucking dog.
Yeah,
it's like the wrong eye is black or something. You're like, that's not the same dog.
Yeah, exactly. Like, wait a minute. But it was People magazine who revealed Spud's gender in 1987. The truth was actually never supposed to be revealed. Apparently, they wanted a gender-neutral dog.
All right, so, fits in today, perfect.
Would be tough today because you'd need a completely neutral because there's like 57 genders now. So
I know. Actually, I watched the side note. I watched the brand new Dave Chappelle stand-up on Netflix.
You sent me that Snapchat. I couldn't hear it though.
Oh, okay. It's hilarious. But he calls the LBGTQ community. He calls them the alphabet people. And he goes a lot deeper than that, but it's so funny.
Oh my god! But yeah, so to end my story, Honey Tree Evil Eye unfortunately passed away from renal failure in 1993.
Ah, poor thing. But yeah, cool story.
Guy lived a great life.
Yeah, great life.
Yeah.
He was famous, famous.
Oh yeah, I wonder how many groupies he had with him all the time. He was probably just slaying. Oh, it was a chick. Wait, What was it? Yeah.
No, gender neutral.
Oh yeah, no, but it said the dog was revealed. Wait, I forget. She, yeah, it was a girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was a she.
So she was probably just crushing boy dogs like left and right. Like
crushing boy. That's like Leah literally. So my dog Leah humps dogs. Like humps our other dog Leah all the time, and it's a dominance thing. But it's like, what the fuck you doing? Like this obviously isn't gonna work.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a good story, dude. I like that.
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. That was a good one.
It reminded me for whatever reason, and we live in Rochester, so most of the people in Rochester are Buffalo Bills fans. And
Go Bills.
Go Bills. Yeah, there you go. I'm not a Bills fan. But it made me think of how every single person, when they're tailgating for a Bills game, they're just chugging Bud Light.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
like,
but
here-
Blue Light and Bud Light.
But I can get down with Blue Light just because it's I think it's a little bit crispier.
Blue or Bud?
Blue.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I just imagine it like water.
It's also brewed right across in Buffalo.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. It is. I heard that burp.
You heard that?
It was deep into the
Dude,
mic.
oh my God, that felt so good. That was the Big Mac.
But yeah, it's just like I feel like I picture them brewing Blue Light with the water that Adam Sandler uses as like the glacier water in Waterboy.
Oh yeah.
So I picture
That's some high quality H2O.
I picture it being just super crisp. All right.
Crispiest.
I'll get into my story. So the picture that is depicted on the front page of my story is I think it's a German short-haired pointer maybe, but it's wearing a king's crown. And I mean like king's crown like back during the, what are they called? In Robin Hood, they all went on like the
Crusades?
The Crusades, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. I mean, it looks like he's wearing like a...
Oh yeah, he looks like he's famous.
Yeah, he's a...
Yeah, he's definitely royalty.
Royalty dog. All right, so the name of my story is Saur, I'm not really sure, Saur, a dog who became king. So the Icelandic chief traced the royal line of Norway in his writings with some myth and folklore to spice up the tales, as everybody does with their stories. Everybody's trying to one-up somebody. One story is of a dog who became king. The dog's name was Saur. Saur. I'm just going to kind of blur those four letters together this whole time. As the story goes, the minor king named Eystein, so the king Eystein invaded and conquered the region of Trondheim around the early 9th century. So this is fucking so long ago. Nothing is true from that long ago. Absolutely nothing.
I don't believe anything.
Yeah. Everything you learned in history class is bullshit. He needed someone to govern the land, so he let the people of Trondheim choose between his trusted slave or his dog Saur. Ballsy move, man.
Obviously, I would choose the dog.
The people chose the dog, obviously, thinking this would allow them the most freedom to govern themselves. So, you know, it makes sense.
Smart.
Yeah,
Actually
it makes
pretty
most
smart.
sense. However, when the dog king came into their lives, the locals discovered Saur was no ordinary dog. It is written that Saur was gifted with the wisdom and intelligence. Hold on, folks. So he was just smart. Sorry, the printer cut off the last line of that.
So he was just smart.
He was smart. All right. So the Briard, or Chienburger de Brie, sheepdog of Brie, is an ancient dog breed that dates back to the time of Charlemagne, not Charlemagne the God. Early tapestries depict these large dogs with the emperor. Briards originated in the dairy-producing area of Brie in northern France, hence where they got their name. According to the old legend of the Middle Ages, the name came about when the big shaggy dog avenged his master's killer. Nice.
Sweet.
I could picture Mika
The
doing
dog's
that.
badass.
Yeah,
Murderer.
Murderer.
Just straight murdering people.
Supposedly, when Sir Aubrey de Montdidier, okay, I don't know how to speak French names, was murdered, his dog went to such lengths to pursue the man who killed his master. The king ordered the judicial duel between the murderer and the dog. Oh my God, it's like the Wild West, man.
That's badass.
The duel took place on the Isle de Notre Dame in 1371, and the dog won the duel. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Imagine today if, like, I mean, if the guy murdered somebody, he's going to jail forever.
Yeah.
But imagine if, like, you were just like...
Death by dog. You get the choice between the electric chair or death by dog.
Oh my God.
What moron would choose the dog?
Oh my, never. Yeah. Oh my God, dude. But that's hilarious. I'm imagining
that's wild.
I'm imagining like you put the dog and this guy back to back in like the last 10 paces.
The guy gets one shot and misses, and he's like, fuck.
I'm screwed. Oh my God, that's hilarious. French farmers bred Briards to herd and guard sheep. Their skills of watching over the sheep and protecting them from prey were so outstanding that it took only 2 or 3 of them to handle 700 head of sheep. So they're fucking on point with organization. Briards also have a protective eye toward family members, especially children whom the dogs regard as their flock. They've been known to protect children from parental spankings. Oh, shit. So if you're like, I mean, there's a lot of
America would like that. America would like that.
Yeah, nowadays. Because of their loving and loyal personality, they often describe the heart wrapped in fur. So they're loyal. You don't want to get in a duel with them.
Obviously, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. And that's a quote by a French actress who owned a breed long ago. Okay. Who cares?
So what kind of, how big are these dogs? Like, how big do they get?
It looks pretty big. It looks like a German short-haired pointer mixed with like a lab.
Yeah,
I'm guessing like 80, 90 pounds.
Yeah, it's got to be a big dog. Because, I mean, I mean, let's be honest. If you're a fully grown adult male and you lose a fight to that dog, then... You know, you got some other problems that you might be having to worry about.
What if they strip you naked and they're like, that dog's naked, you have to fight
Actually,
naked.
that would suck.
I'd just be covering my dick.
Yeah, I was just going to say that would be the only thing I'd be worried about.
I mean, but look at this dog's eyes.
Yeah, that dog's pretty badass.
He looks like he's just got fucking no soul.
Yeah, that dog looks like he would just eat your fucking brains for dinner.
Yeah. All right, so as many years later, before the Briard made it to the U.S., it was 1789 when Thomas Jefferson ended his tenure as American ambassador to France. He brought back with him a pregnant Briard named Bergier, another French name. She and her pups proved to be excellent herders, but her primary role was becoming the founder of the American branch of her family. Their extraordinary sagacity, do you know this word? S-A-G-A, sagacity?
No way. I have no idea.
Look it up real quick. I'm going to keep reading. S-A-G-A, like Saga City. Their extraordinary sagacity renders them extremely valuable, capable of being taught almost any duty that may be required of them, and the most anxious in the performance of that duty, the most watchful and faithful of all servants. Wrote Jefferson, so pretty cool. I mean, if Jefferson's giving you a shout out, you're probably pretty dope.
So it says the quality of being discerning, sound in judgment, and farsighted, or wisdom.
Okay, so they're just like baller dogs. So even Napoleon, who had a small person complex, who had an aversion to dogs like Briards and reportedly owned them, a couple of them. Because of their vast intelligence and keen hearing, Briards were used in World War I. They served as sentry dogs and carried supplies to the front lines. They were also used as Red Cross dogs, leading the corpsmen to wounded soldiers on the battlefield. So corpsmen, I'm guessing, are like medics back in the day.
Yeah.
It is reported that they were so good with their job that any man with a dog passed by was beyond assistance. So like if they, decided that they're so smart that they would see a guy and they're like, he's fucking dead. We're leaving
He's
him.
Fucking dead.
Yeah, we're going to go save the guys who can. Consequently, by the end of the war, their numbers had decreased dramatically because they're fucking in a war.
Yeah.
Today, Briards still have a strong instinct to herd and to protect. So don't be surprised if your sheepdog knows, butts you on the walk, or runs after a squirrel that crosses your path. So they're just, they're doing the thing.
They're doing the thing.
Of the 3 men, so I think I cut this one off too, but he believed, of 3 men who came from the war, they believed that the dog could allegedly speak in human tongues after having barked twice in a conversation. They're crazy.
Still not as efficient as Baxter letting Ron Burgundy know that he was in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Bark twice if you're in Milwaukee.
Or, you know I don't speak Spanish.
A whole wheel of cheese?
I'm not even mad. I'm impressed.
In English, please. Yeah,
in English, please.
Yeah.
You know I don't speak Spanish. The people of Trondheim treated Saur like royalty. They would carry him on their shoulders to keep his paws from getting dirty, and they would lavish him with gifts.
Jesus.
That's so insane.
That's a little absurd. That's extra.
The IQ of people back then, huh? He was given a jeweled collar of gold and silver and a dog bed that was fit for a king. Saur lived a pampered life, but despite the royal treatment, Saur still had the dog in him. Waiting to protect his domain from danger, one day he went after a pack of wolves who were threatening a flock of sheep. The magical dog was no match for the pack of wolves and was sadly torn to pieces.
They could have just said he was killed.
Nope, that's the end of the
Sadly
story.
torn to pieces.
And that's the end of the story.
Oh my God. I mean, that's unfortunate. Admirable, but dumb.
Yeah,
I question all everything that they said about his wisdom. I question with that end of that story.
Total bullshit. He was actually very dumb.
Sounds like Wagner when he was on PEDs.
Yes. Just blindly doing
blindly
like.
running into the fray.
That's hilarious. It sounds like a pretty badass dog, though. I mean, it seems like it's a mix of a sheepdog and a lab back then. So, like, I don't know what they've bred it into, but it's got to be some sort of like sheepdog now.
Yeah.
But cool. Hey, you know what? Badass dog, Saur.
Yeah.
Dog who became king. But who the fuck is like? I mean, in the right mind, is like, I'm gonna give you guys the vote. The people, you can vote. My dog or my slave. One who's doing that, and then the people are like unanimously
the dog.
Do the dog.
Do the dog. You know, it was so they're all. I see it now. Like they're all in the town square. The guy's like, "Listen, I'm going to give you the choice of electing my slave or my dog," and then some dude in the back is like, "Pick the dog."
Yeah. Oh my God, it's hilarious. Like, how do you pass any sort of legislation?
Yeah. You know, actually, it's funny because as soon as you brought this story up and mentioned that he became like a royal, like he became royalty, there's actually, I saw an article. There's like a town in Alaska that currently has a dog as mayor.
Oh my God. I mean, it's Alaska, depending on where you are, is totally different.
And there's a town in Minnesota that has a cat as their town mayor, and he just got reelected.
Oh my God.
That's how the article came up.
So
it says cat reelected as town mayor for his second term.
Oh my God. Some people, though, I mean, I guess if you have like a town that's just
it's a small town like in
small
Minnesota,
town, no
know,
crime, it doesn't matter. You're fucking in that position.
Yeah.
You're like, let's just fuck with
and
people.
The article quoted some of the residents as saying like, "Oh well, he was very just last year. He made decisions that were best for everyone." It's like, what? Like, could you? Although honestly, if I had the option of electing a dog as our mayor, I would 100% do it.
Oh, for sure.
He would get my vote every time.
Just find a good, cute picture of the dog. I'm like, that's my guy.
That's them. That's the one. That's who I'm voting for. I really agree with his policies. No, policies.
Yeah,
right?
Policies. Yes, Chuck, the puns.
He really agrees with my policies.
Oh my God, that's fucking good. All right, so 2 pretty good stories today, I think.
I dig it. Yeah.
All right, you got anything else you want to say? Anything important? Anything that's come to mind while we're talking that you want to share with the peoples?
Not really. The only thing I would say I wrote down is there actually another thing I found on Instagram was this product called like Dr. Marty's probiotic formula or something like that. It's basically like a bunch of nutrients
for dogs.
For dogs. And then you just sprinkle it on top of their food, and it like helps with digestion, and it helps with it gives them different types of nutrients that they otherwise would be missing. Because one of the things that he stated when the pitch that they sold me on is how dog foods are made with certain real foods. They do whatever they do, and then but there's always during that process there's certain ingredients and nutrients that are left out. And this is basically a formula. It's like a powder that you throw on their food, and it helps them to get those nutrients back, and it helps with digestion. It helps with just general health. So I just started using it. I'll report back.
Yeah, we'll see
in a couple weeks.
Well, coming from the guy that impulsively buys shit off of Instagram.
Oh yeah, I'm the worst.
Everybody trust him right now. No, but it does make sense. I mean, what we know about like the gut biome and taking probiotics, prebiotics. I don't know what the fuck prebiotics are, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's probably going to help. It can't hurt, I don't think.
I was reading the reviews, and there was one review I saw where a woman said that her dog had like a minor seizure and then like diarrhea, after she started giving her this formula, and they responded and they said, we're so sorry that happened to your dog. Here's a full refund. And
but even then, you're like, maybe the diarrhea, but who knows, like the correlation between a seizure. It's pretty severe.
Right.
But you know what? Let's check and see if Mika has any seizures. I hope she doesn't.
I hope not.
I hope not.
I'll keep you posted. I'll report back in a couple weeks.
All right.
It's going to take longer than that, actually, because she only eats like twice a week.
Yeah.
So
we'll report back in a few months.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right. Well, Chuck, Charles Maxwell III, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, man.
Let's
Thanks
wrap
for
this
having
baby
me.
up. So, as usual, everybody follow us at Barkology Podcast pretty much everywhere. Barkology.podbean.com if you're on the bean, but you can listen to us on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to yo podcasts. You can go to barkology.itemorder.com if you want any of the WAG swag. And we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in every week. And Chuck, we wrap up the episodes each week by saying wag more, bark less. So you want to do it?
Wag more, bark less, baby.
Yeah, baby. All right. Awesome. Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you.